I had this porcelain doll head set with the arms in my stash for a while now, so I decided to make this Santa tree topper from it. So the first thing I did was a little math to figure out the size of the topper. I'll put the formula I use up on the screen. So then I made a cardboard cone and cut it to the height I wanted it, and then I did the measurements math for the arms. And I used pipe cleaner, just put a little glue in the armhole and then put the pipe cleaner in, and then I joined the two pipe cleaners together and did the same for the other arm. I then made sure the arms were the length I wanted and tucked the extra up in underneath. Doesn't have to be exact, but I didn't want him to look like he had longer arms than he should have. And so now that I'm happy with that, I am going to put a little batting or fleece over the cone. Just glue the end down, and then I tucked it up inside the cone and just give it a little pleat. And made sure it was all glued down good so it doesn't catch on the tree. You could just sit this on your shelf as well as use it for a tree topper. I may do that some years. I had got this porcelain head and hands at the thrift store one time when there was a bunch of doll stuff, so I had picked it up and thought I'll use that sometime. So I'm just going to make the arms a little thicker than the pipe cleaner. And they'll still be posable, even though they got a little padding on them. Now this here material was in the costume box at the thrift store, some type of Santa dress. And so it was a nice velvet. I thought, oh, I'll use that for some Christmas thing. And I did use it already in a gnome video, if you check it out here. So I had just drawn a robe pattern, the height of my Santa, and then folded my material in half and cut out two of those. And the front one I cut in the center as it will for the opening. I'm just going to pin this together, and then I will sew up this across the top of the arms, and then the bottom of the arm down the sides. I'm using a stretchy needle, and I've set my tension a little looser. And if you want to check your tension before you start sewing, this is one way that I like to do it. The little video I did recently showing that. So I did my stitching down the sides and across the top. And then I'm going to take this feathery edging off of this costume and repurpose that as well. So it's attached here and there by a couple of stitches. And so I'm just snipping them off and keeping the feather string intact. So I'm going to work on the hood. So I'm just cutting a rectangle of the material that had the edging still on it, the feathery edging. And I'm going to turn that right sides together and pin that. And then I'm going to take that and stitch a hood shape. So just a little curve at the top and then down the back seam. So I trim that up, and there I have my hood. And I'm just going to hot glue that to the back of the Santa's nape there. And now I'll glue all of my feathery fluff edging onto the Santa robe. So I have some tracing paper here. Use anything plastic, parchment paper, something so that when you press down and you get your glue stuck, that you can easily peel it up. So just a little bead of glue along the edge and stick that down. And then I will put it on the Santa. So I'm just attaching the hood to the front lapel sort of area with a little dab of hot glue. And then I'm just going to glue the robe right in place down the front. and then a little glue at the bottom to keep it down in place. And then I just added a little bit of the feathery fur trim to the sleeve ends. I thought of adding some different hair over top of the porcelain hair, but I just decided that this simpler way looked the best. So I'm using some Scotch tape just to clean up that fur that had come loose and was over the rest of the robe. Now this tree is some stuff from my village decoration, and I decided I wanted the wooden trunk, not the ceramic that was on this tree, so I just exchanged one for the other. I think that's how I will leave him, just holding the tree. And if you like this Santa, you might like the Christmas angel I had made previously. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.